Hi everyone, it's Genene, and here's a yoga sequence that I came up with while I was at the car wash. I was wearing street clothes, so I know that it works with the street clothes I wear, but today I'll be demonstrating it in yoga clothes. So whichever version you're in, I'll offer a modification here and there in case you're in street clothes and they do not work for you. Well, let's begin. So you're sitting in a chair, I'm going to imagine, waiting for your car to be done. So begin by sitting in a chair. And then scooch forward a little bit in your chair so you have room, hands to the thighs, and we'll do some cat-cows, and that's going to be for opening up the spine. Inhale, extend the spine, broaden through the chest, look up, and then exhale, low belly pulls in, and you round. And we're going to do, I'll walk you through them. We'll do 5 of these. Inhale and exhale, and 3, and exhale, and 4, and exhale, really round the spine here, and 1 more, and exhale. Come back to center. This one I'll show from the side, because you'll still be scooted forward in your chair, and this is to open up the chest a little more. Bring your hands behind you, and then you can either grab the chair seat or chair back and squeeze the chair back and open up the chest and stay here. If you're a little more flexible, take your hands and clasp them behind your back. And then inhale, stretch, lift the arms up, and breathe across the collarbones, and make sure you're not just arching the back. Keep your spine in neutral. Keep breathing here. And then gently release whatever version you've chosen, and then clasp your hands the other way, or just bring your hands to the outer edges of your chair seat. Maybe you can walk your hands higher this time. And then inhale, lift, breathe, and then release. Now to get a little bit of hip flexor and ankle stretching, we'll do a modified version of Anjane Asana. I'll show you sitting down. This is non-traditional. You scooch over to the left and you take your left leg behind you. Now you come onto the ball of the foot, and then usually we have something underneath us to support the leg. Here we don't have that. So you're going to, whatever works for you, you should feel, you start walking that foot back, you'll feel it into the hip flexor. Now let's come to the other side. Try the right side, walking the leg back. And if this is not working for you because you really need that support underneath you, then you're going to skip that and just hold on for 1 second, and we'll go on to the next one. If you were at home wanting to do this, then you put a bolster or 2 blankets underneath for support, and then you could reach your arms overhead. Now come back to center, hands to the thighs. So now let's say that you're tired of sitting, and we're going to do this Anjane Asana standing up modified. So coming to the back of your chair or whatever you have to hang on to. You don't really need something unless you need balance. And then step your left leg back. And you're coming onto the ball of the foot, and then bending that right knee up to 90 degrees. And then you can play with bending that back knee. Depending on what you're wearing, you might need to have that knee bent, or maybe you're a little tight in the hip flexor. And then if you can, straighten the leg and breathe. You can play with, do I need this chair? So breathe into your hip flexor, breathe into your ankle. Be patient with it. And then you're going to gather all your energy so that you can step that back leg forward to meet the front and switch sides. Right leg comes back. And maybe you start with that back leg bent again to get this leg 90. And notice in this position, the left knee does not come forward of the ankle. And then maybe you can straighten the back leg. You can play with where do you want your arms. You can always bring your arms overhead. Or maybe you would rather have them supporting you. Again, this really depends on what shoes you have on too. So maybe the chair one is better for you and you're in the chair right now. And then draw into the center of the pelvis, come to standing. Let's go back to sitting in the chair. Janu Sirsasana modified to stretch your hamstrings. A few ways to do this, but you're sitting forward of your chair again. It starts to get really hard. You can't try it. You can't straighten your leg if you're back in the chair, so you have to get forward. So you could stay with just the right leg straight, go there. You could take the sole of the left foot to the inside of this right leg, like so. You could, just depends a lot on your flexibility and what you've got going on with your clothing. You could slide this leg up this foot up the leg, above or below the knee, just to protect the knee, which tends to be sensitive. So see, you could have it way up here if that works for you. Inhale, lengthen the spine here. If you would like to intensify the stretch, take your spine, which is in neutral, just tilt your whole pelvis forward, and you should feel a corresponding increased stretch across your right hamstring. Spread your toes. Pull your right pinky toe towards your outer right hip. See if you feel any difference there. If not, it's fine. Inhale to come up. We're switching sides. So first, straighten the left leg. So this is like a modified Dandasana pose, staff pose. And then you choose whether you want to keep this right foot flat or sole of the foot to the ankle on the inside or all the way up to the inner thigh. Staying upright or starting to tilt the pelvis forward. That's why you're grabbing hold of the chair, because we don't want to fall over. So you're rooting down and back with your sitting bones. Spread those toes. Listen to your breath. Release the foot and come back up. Both legs stretched out. And then bend both knees, feet flat on the floor. And one final stretch. Two options. So if you're in tight-fitting clothing, try crossing right thigh over left thigh, like so. If you're not in tight-fitting clothing, then we're going to do figure 4. So cross right ankle over left thigh. Now you can put your hand on the sole of your foot or your shoe, but you might not want to touch your shoe. So then you let your hands grab the chair seat and you spread your toes. Lengthen through your spine on an inhale and then choose. Do I want to go deeper? If you do, you tilt the entire pelvis forward. In other words, keep your spine upright. We're not rounding the spine here. And you'll feel here the stretch coming to the outer hip. If that's where you're feeling it, yes, that's normal. So do what's right for you. This gets tight often when we sit for long periods of time. So this is counteracting that sitting. And then inhale, come up. Other side. Either thigh over thigh or left ankle across right thigh. And this side might be a little different, so let that be different. So does your body say, yeah, I can go further, or does it say, oh my goodness? If you start to round backwards, that's your body saying, I'm trying to get out of this stretch. It's too intense. So honor where you're feeling, but keep your spine in neutral wherever you're at. So your knee might come up, and that's okay. You're playing with your edge, engaging this left glute more to open the knee closer towards the floor when it's ready. Or if you want more intensity, you're bowing forwards. Just go to where your edge is. We're not going to stop sitting in chairs, most probably. So instead, we're doing things to counterbalance that. Inhale, come up, uncross the leg, and see how you feel from a few minutes ago, and see how you can utilize a very short yoga practice to keep you feeling better in your body, and how that translates to feeling better in your mind and your heart as you go through the rest of your day, so that you can look forward to all these errands that you have to run and find time to find that balance using your yoga practice off the mat. Please click the like button if you like this video, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And join us next time when we have yoga sequence for you when you're standing at the bus stop or something like that. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to hearing what yoga video you want me to make for you next. Namaste.